Alright, let's go look under here. Crawling under.
There is the pigtail. Right there. And here are the core, the 2016 and after. So I got a lift behind here. There's a little white gray tab. Let's see if I can get closer. Gray tab, pull out, and then you gotta pry, and it should just pull right out. So here is the little connector. Pretty straightforward. Let me show you. And
this is where you would pry to release. Don't judge my pedicure, guys. And you pop that little rubber out and it's good to go. Here's a little pigtail that we're gonna be doing a little soldering on.
All right, so we're back in the house and I'm gonna walk you through kind of the wiring behind this. So the white line right here, the white line is positive and the black line is negative. If you go on Amazon, everything that I'm gonna show on here, I will call these like quick connects. There's gonna be a link in the description below, so make sure you check that out if you want to buy any of this stuff, because I'm gonna try being very informative in video style versus just pictures. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take all the red, well, sorry, the wrong ones. I'm gonna get the plug-in terminals. So I'm gonna just get all the red ones and link them all together and solder it into the white line, and then the black to the black, and kind of create a little wire harness. And these little connectors look like this. And this, it's got a little rubber grommet so that water can't pass through, and it's very similar to essentially this GM socket thing. You can see the rubber down there. Same style, very smaller version, but this is the big version.
All right, guys, here is what I ended up with. Maybe you guys can read that. It's not that focused, right around there. So there's millions of these on Amazon, right? LED light strip, but make sure, at least this is what I went with. I went with a 600 LED count, and you can tell that it's 600 based on the cluster of LEDs sequentially. It's double density, meaning they put twice as many in the same amount of 5-meter coil that they provide. In one of my other setups, this is a 12-volt 5-amp. You don't quite need that, but once I plug it in, you'll see how well. So here it is. Look how bright that is. It's gonna output twice the amount of light, and it's gonna be more lumens per foot. I plan to install this in the side rails. Just wanted to show you the LED strip that I purchased, but these always go in and out of stock based on the vendor, so you have to kind of do a high-level search for 600-piece LED light strip, and you have to make sure, let me just unplug this, that this has it's got like a plastic coating on top of the wiring, which then makes it quote-unquote waterproof. The other ones that they sell, they don't sell this plastic coating. It's just the bare LEDs. So it's very rubberized on this top end of it.
okay, let's go over what we need for this project. Wires, wire cutters, flux, electrical tape, soldering iron holder. Doesn't really, soldering iron, solder, heat shrink, a lighter of some sort to make the heat shrink. I have made the conclusion. I am going to snip here and build, pull. So we have the two ends stripped. Let's see if I can get that in better focus. There we go. And I'm going to do that for these 3 plugins. See, when you pull too hard, notice what happens. You pull a couple of the strands. Not a good thing, but it happens sometimes. So clean the edges off. I flagged the white with a positive plus on it just for visual aid.
before I begin, I am going to grab some shrink wrap and push it up here so that I can push all that stuff down. Oops, flux capacitor. Apparently I can't say that word. Messy job, but let's get her done. Twine all these together. Dip it. And then stick that in there somehow, somewhere. I'm sure I'll get a sweet shard in my finger. Gnarly fingers. Look how bright that is. Holy cow, it's so bright. I think I'm gonna solder that now. So we are waiting for the iron to heat up, and I got that all prepped. We got the shrink wrap, and I did bring this from the garage. It's called dielectric grease. Just helps keep things protected from corrosion and keeps it waterproof. So I'll be using that once I get that soldered. Dropping some lines of solder. So the key is you place this on top. Oh yeah, sizzle, sizzle. Let it heat up and start feeding that beast. You'll get a nice flow in there. And we'll do the other side. And we'll shrink wrap, dielectric grease it, and we should be good. And there it is. Red side done. Move on to black. Alright, so a couple hours has elapsed from the day. It's now, what time is it? 8 o'clock. Have some additional energy, so let's get to figuring this out. So what did I buy that showed up? I bought this stuff. It's got like a PVC shielding on. It is called speaker wire, right? So it's a CL2 rated speaker wire, which essentially just has a PVC coating and then the two insulated wires inside. Sorry, I can't see that. Right there. So I cut a chunk. This chunk is 36 inches. That's what I'm going to be working with. I'm going to create the wire harness that goes into the harness, the plug inside that goes into the wire harness that I made. I just added some shrink wrap to keep it more waterproof. And here we go. So I ripped off a little bit right there so I can get that in better focus. It's hard to figure out at what level I'll be doing all my work, so hopefully that's good. And let's get this thing stripped. Maybe use 10 gauge and snip it or something. I guess that works. Pull this weird piece of hair out. I don't know what that really is for. We have our two exposed terminals, and I think this is 18, yep, 18 gauge, so I'll line that up. Our red and black, and I will be using cold pressed wire connectors. and with this crimper. Obviously, you can just solder this if you have a soldering iron, but I'm gonna use this method and see how it goes. Red. I'm gonna twist the side up good. I guess it really doesn't matter which. Oh, I gotta get. The Hulk smashes the heck out of that thing. Look at that. And then I'll slide this heat shrink over that. I'll grab the red from over here. It is incredibly hard to stay focused. I gotta back this out a little bit, guys. I'm sorry. Use your bifocals if you can't see this that well. Come on in. Smash. I don't think that's coming out anytime soon. And that is essentially solid. Once I push that through, I will heat shrink this and we should be good to go. What you guys can also do is, if you want, you can fire up the soldering iron and dabble some solder right there. Not a bad idea, but I'm not too overly concerned, so I'm going to skip that. And for safety measure, I'm going to compress one of the sides down, compress, and compress. Sweet. Happy with the results there. Perfect. All right, down the soldering station, and this is the LED strip. This is the black and red. This is the black and red. We're just matching that all up. And I'm going to be wrapping this LED strip lead onto this corner right here. There's not much real estate, so try the best you can and wrap it nice and tight. Oh no, that's not a big deal. Perfect. Same thing for the red. I feel bad for the people who got Vienna sausage links, because this won't be easy. And the eyes, of course, degrade over time, so that's always fun. So do note that I have the heat shrink, and then I plan to slide that over. And then I have a bigger heat shrink that I'm going to slide over all that. Plus, I think I might wrap a very thin layer of electrical tape to make that seal real solid. Brush some on. Okay, not like it's like close quarter combat. So let's see if I can get this.
Perfect. Got one. Wait for that to cool down. Take a look at the soldering. Does it look good? This one doesn't look as solid, but I think it'll be just fine. Looks like every strand has taken solder, so I'm okay with that. That's all she wrote there. So since this is a 12-volt source, I have my 5 amp hour battery here, 12 volts, simple speaker wire. Plug it into this little socket here, and let me get that all squared away, and you will see pretty quick that if I turn this off, we got ourselves light. So we know it works. Once I plug it in the truck like the button, it will work. Pretty freaking sweet. All right, I'm in the bed of the truck, and I'm going to clean it. It has like this 45-degree angle right here, and that's where I'm going to attach the bed light, the LED light strip to. If you drop the line down there, it'll instantly just fall to the ground, which is nice. So I'm just going to feed this line through. Kind of hear it going down the and then I'm going to essentially create kind of an angle right here somewhere. I'm adding a strip of double stick tape made by 3M. It's the high hold super strength molding tape. I'm doing it at the beginning because of all this stuff, and hopefully that holds. And then my next philosophy is I don't trust the double stick tape, so I'm just gonna use this super glue. And I know this stuff will work. This stuff is expensive, so cheap alternative. Alright, so I peeled back the bad, or the old original 3M, no, double stick tape, very thin. I mean, look how thin this is. It's not gonna hold worth a dang. I'm gonna stick this on as far as it can go, and if I am in the way, I apologize. So now that is stuck solid. Sweet. Alright, so here's kind of the finished product. All the way down to the very end. I still haven't decided if I'm going to do another one on the truck window side. So I'm now going to hook it up and see what it turns out, how the lighting looks. Sorry. Okay, so what I didn't show you is me plugging in the harness and zip tying some stuff down there. I also did loop the wire going down into a little channel somewhere over here so that it comes not straight down but kind of off to the side and then towards the harness. So let me show you what this looks like. Right now the camera makes it a much lighter than it really is, so it's kind of deceiving. Let me just turn it off for you and you guys can take a look. We are online. Look at that. And I'm only actually going to do the one side because based on, I'm actually utilizing the tonneau covers channel, I guess we'll call it, to create that light. And since it's not going straight down, you have a better throw all the way across from top to bottom. And you don't see any like dead spots. Maybe in the back corner I see a little bit, but otherwise it is nice and clear.
Look at that. I'm so happy this is done. This is going to help during the winter months and even just during the summer months when it gets dark out and you need a little extra lighting. With my wire harness, I have 2 more accessory plugins that I can utilize. I don't know where or what I will use those for. Somehow I'll get creative, but for now I don't have anything yet. So stay tuned for another update. Check it out. Sweet.